Today I'm joined by Alex Farian, founder of Advisory Capital Broker Training. Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and today I'm joined by Alex. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome, well, I'm glad to have you here.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Hanna. I'm here with Alex Farian, CEO of Advisory Capital Broker Training. And Alex, tell me a little bit about what you do.
Joining me now, Alex Farian. He's with Advisory Capital Broker Training. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Well, tell us more about what you do.
And so let's jump right in. Explain to me about the business concept.
Sure, so we train folks to become commercial capital brokers. Now, we're very familiar with the broker term these days, so we're always quick to distinguish between what a commercial capital broker is and isn't, and they associate that with common things, real estate brokers, mortgage brokers, securities brokers, a little bit different than that, and hopefully in a good way. We teach you how to broker commercial capital. And really what that means is that you're going to look at a business or maybe work with an investor, developer, anything under the commercial umbrella to figure out where an injection of capital could benefit whoever your client is. So that might mean just working capital or a line of credit that a business can tap whenever they need to. That could be a real estate project for commercial purposes. That could be as small as a fix and flip, all the way up to really large deals that are, 100 million plus. Preferred equity, common equity, things like that. So it can get pretty complex, but that's really what we want to train folks to do. Once we do that, we provide all of the assets around that. So we provide all the lender relationships, we make sure you're trained really well, and we also have software that does a lot of the back office work for you as far as matching you to clients, packaging deals, things like that. What this enables them to do is broker any type of financial facility out there. And those are really fancy words for loans, lines of credit. There also are a few different products out there that are more of funding than it is a loan. But what we want to do is teach folks to own their own finance company where they can help any type of business owner, investor, developer, anybody that needs capital for a commercial purpose, get that injection of capital to grow whatever it is they're trying to do.
Tell us why this is such a hot space to be in right now.
Sure. So the easiest way to answer that is really that there's no shortage of needs for capital. Even the company that's thriving can benefit from an injection of capital. So we like to train our brokers ethically. We don't want to put them in debt. We don't want to cause a business to struggle or to put them into a liability that doesn't make sense for them. So we have a really big focus on balance sheets, aging reports, a lot of different documents to say, all right, let's look at their whole picture. How could capital benefit them? Right now, even a thriving company, maybe they could take on more business, hire more staff, go after a certain contract or another benefit if they had a larger injection of capital at any given time.
You're fine.
At any given time.
So paint the landscape of how the training is actually conducted.
Sure. So we like to think of our training as onboarding more than academic, right? So you come in, we offer the course in 3 different ways. You can do a self-paced on-demand version. We do a live virtual course, and that's not your average Zoom call where you see my notifications and all that kind of junk. It's a professional LMS, broadcast software, professional cameras, everything like that. And then we also offer an in-person version of our course in Tampa, Florida. So if you'd like to come down to sunny Florida and join us right on the bay, we teach it down there as well. We go through what you would expect out of a course. We go through the industry vernacular, how to read documents, everything like that. We give you all of your lender relationships, and then we have software that really helps the broker do their job in a much more efficient way. So matches them to lenders, packages their deals, everything like that. So the program is roughly 2 days and gives you everything you need. One important thing that we always like to kind of highlight before people get maybe nervous about can they understand it, is it too complex? we always like to let people know that, remember, you're not the one running credit, you're not the one taking applications, you're not the one doing underwriting, right? So when they take care of these deals, they have the lender relationship to help guide them, and also the software and our own support staff. We also have an on-demand self-paced course. A lot of our higher caliber brokers that come through that feel that they have enough experience, they really just want the lender relationships and make sure they know the ins and outs on the brokering side. They'll opt for that very often. I'm partial to the training because I'm the primary trainer, but it's a really great option for folks that can't get time off of work or want the option to just go through it as they see fit.
And what's the difference between your various packages?
Sure. So that question is important for me to answer to everybody, to understand that we're broker advocates. We didn't want to create a program where we had tiers of packages and the more you spend, the more successful you are. To me, that's no different than a bait and switch. What we wanted was to offer our program, the lender relationships, the software, all of the training as one. That's our primary package. Every other package after that just includes items that you might not want to deal with. So you might not want to deal with building a website. You might not want to manage your social media. You might not feel comfortable running Google ads or social ads or things like that. You might want help with logo creation. All of that stuff we can do for you, and that's really what those other packages are. However, if you feel comfortable doing that, or if you have another group that can do it for you, or anything in between, we're completely okay with that. We're not sales oriented. We won't try and talk you into another package, and you'll often hear me say, if you're comfortable doing all of this, then you don't need the other package. Just sign up for our primary package, and you're good to go.
So let's back up a little bit and talk about the industry history.
Yeah, so that's a great question. That's one thing we actually kind of use to our advantage, almost as a sales tactic or a sales approach, where there's all of these opportunities out there, the gurus, the side hustles, all this stuff on YouTube, and we don't want to be associated with that. We want to make sure that everyone knows they're coming into a solid career path, a solid business opportunity, and one that's been around a very long time. And how we do that is we highlight the governing bodies and associations and all the groups that have oversight over the broker community. One thing I like to tell broker candidates is say, hey, go out and look at the industry. Go look at the associations and the organizations and governing bodies that have oversight over the broker community. You'll notice the age of everybody. You're not going to see a bunch of young people that are there for 6 months and they're gone. You see folks from all ages. You see very senior folks, you see folks that are retired that still want to be involved. And I think that is a compliment to the industry, that they've had quality earnings, quality revenue, they built a business on it, and it's something they could stay around with for a long time.
Absolutely.
You're gonna see folks that have been there 30 and 40 years. When you go to the conferences, you can tell the age of the room, where we have all types, all ages. The approach to training as a concept might be new, but the broker community is not a new community whatsoever.
Yeah. Fantastic. And what is a typical client for a commercial capital broker?
Sure, that's a great question, because there's really no one straight answer. Obviously, the easiest path is helping businesses. This could be restaurants, this could be hotel owners, this could be mom and pop shops, all the way up to elaborate manufacturing environments. Anything industrial, just about anything you can imagine. But also, when you get into the commercial real estate space, it can be all kinds of different real estate investors. This could be your average fix and flip, fixing up a property to sell it, to rent it out, all the way up to very large transaction where there could be multiple lenders on one transaction. They could be pulling together $100, $200, $600 million, and we could have mezzanine debt, preferred equity, common equity. It obviously gets very complex, which is why we have the broker training program.
And I would suggest that it's almost a recession-proof business, because during good times and bad, the lifeblood of every company is funding.
Yeah, that's one unique thing that we like to talk about with broker candidates. That's the first thing they say. Well, what about when rates are sky high? What about when I always hear that banks aren't lending? Well, the beautiful thing about our program is we're probably 80-85% private lender. The reason that's important is these are not depository institutions. They don't have checking accounts. They don't have interest-bearing accounts. So all they do is lend. So if the market gets really tough, they don't shut down lending. They have to get really creative. So you're almost a more attractive option as a broker to the average business owner than a bank, because they're going to get really creative on terms. They're going to take risks that they might not take in a good market. They're going to provide incentives and different things to try and earn your business, because if they're not lending, they're out of business. So recession proof is one of those, it might be a watered down phrase these days, but that's really what it is. Even during the pandemic, a lot of folks were going after the free money through the PPP loan program. Well, the banks got really smart with that and said, hey, we have this whole broker community out there. They paid points on that. So our brokers, even though there was free money out there, brokers were still making money on those loans.
Wow.
Very often I get questions around how much money can you make? What's the best way? What's the best product? Things like that. And there's really no best way to approach being a commercial capital broker. What I like to do is give you strategies. One strategy that we do is we sort of break up the products that you have into buckets. There's sort of one bucket that we would call the quick close facilities, and then there's another bucket that's our long-term structured debt or structured deal approaches, and we like to have both of those going at the same time. So for example, equipment financing. That's a deal that can close typically in 2 to 3 days. The asset's right in front of you. It's a simple doc package. It's something that you can submit quickly and that the lender makes a decision on. Now, these commissions, you might get 2 to 4, maybe 5 or 6 points on a deal that's maybe $300,000 to $500,000. But those are great commissions that will keep the lights on, keep your business running, and that you can count on. On top of that, you have the larger ticket items, SBA loans, commercial real estate loans. There's a lot of different products in those buckets. However, those can grow legs, and we're very transparent and honest about those. When what I mean by that is the deals can take much longer. It's not as simple as a mortgage. It won't close in 30 days. It may not close in 30 days. You might run into issues with zoning, municipalities, local governing bodies that you need permitting from. So there's a lot of different things that can happen. I've seen quality SBA loans that were simple business acquisitions that should have closed in 30 days, and they grow and end up taking 5-6 months. Now the commission's going to be 5 figures on that. It'll be worth your time. However, we always want to make sure that you're building your business to have those base hits while you're waiting on the home runs.
Absolutely. And do you offer support after the course?
Yes, I think that's probably one of the most important things about the broker training program. We know that it can be very daunting. The vernacular sounds complex, the deals can sound complex, but we want to make sure that you understand the resources you have. In fact, our broker training program is really more onboarding than academic. We want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable with the vernacular, their products, things like that, but also your resources. Number one, our software does a lot of the back-end work for you. It matches your clients to lenders, packages deals for you, things like that. However, we also have a full-time support staff that monitors the software. So if you inquire with us, maybe it's a fringe deal, maybe it's something you're not sure about, you don't even know where to start, you can just reach out to us and we'll help you. And a lot of times we'll tap lenders, which is also one of your resources. When you're working with lenders, you're not working with the underwriters, you're working with their business development folks. So those people are motivated to see deals go through because they make money as well. So they'll get on the phone and help sell the deal. They'll tell you how to close the deal. They'll get terms to you faster. They're motivated to see deals close because there's something that's in it for them. So we really like that relationship where a lender will even get on the phone, speak with your client like a human, and make them feel comfortable with the lending process. I think that's the biggest thing with the support that we offer. We also like to always make sure that brokers understand where they sit in the pipeline. It's very front-end heavy. So they're not running credit, they're not doing underwriting. That's all done on the lender side. So it's really about making the relationship, nurturing relationships, and understanding how an injection of capital works for so many different businesses.
So you actually answered my next question, I think, about what sets you apart from other companies out there doing this.
Correct.
So last question that I have for you, what sets this program apart from others?
Correct. That's one thing we always want to make sure we distinguish so that we don't get anybody coming in with dollar signs in their eyes. I'm looking to get rich quick. That's for YouTube. That's for the gurus, right? We want to make sure that you understand it's a real opportunity. We approach it with a lot of integrity and empathy. We want to make sure that we get the right candidates in the door. And the big thing that sets us apart is really our approach to training. When you come in, again, not academic, onboarding. So it feels a lot like when you start a new job. You're going to meet your coworkers. That's our support staff. Some of your colleagues, that's going to be your business development folks from the lenders that'll help you close deals. You're going to learn, the software you normally use every day at your job. Same thing. We're going to teach you how to use our software. So that's what really sets sets us apart. And then probably the biggest hallmark of our entire program is our software. Funding scenario tool immediately matches you to lenders, packages your deal. We have a lender library where lenders can highlight incentives, provide marketing collateral, just about everything you can think of. And it's really the hub for the commercial capital broker community. Really the full approach that we take, we train you up front. It's really not an academic course. It's more onboarding with us. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable with what you're supposed to be doing, who you should contact in the case of, and how to find the right things at the right time. So yes, we train you on the basic vernacular and documents that you're going to bump into, but we also provide some intangible things. We talk about broker ethics and etiquette. We talk about business development and marketing. We also provide all of your lender relationships and that software that's going to help you package your deals and work with lenders and have kind of that hub to work within the broker community. You also have our support as well. We have an internal staff that provides support live on the platform. So if you have questions about fringe deals, something you're not sure of, or maybe you're just not comfortable yet, you can utilize our support. And then I think the most important thing that I always like to kind of highlight when you're working with lenders, remember as a broker, you're not running credit, you're not taking an application, you're not doing any underwriting. That's all done on the lender side. But the folks you work with at the lenders are not underwriters. These are going to be their business development folks. They have a vested interest in seeing you be successful because that's how they get paid as well. So if you need them to hop on a call with you, if you need them to help sell a deal, provide terms, give you an after hours response, work on the weekend, whatever it is, they have some motivation to work with you. So you have all of these various resources and support. We also have our own association and conferences with extra learning opportunities that are all free to brokers, by the way. And so it's really that full-bodied approach that we're broker advocates first.
All right. And why do lenders like working with brokers?
That's a really great question. The main reason is you're an immediate extension of their sales force. So instead of hiring folks and trying to figure out the best regions and the best clientele, they tap the broker community to say, go out to where your niche is, your Rolodex, your book of business, and help us find ways that our products work for your clients. You will see that there's been a big movement in the commercial capital space, especially with private lenders and even institutional lenders like the banks that we all know and the brand name banks, where you're seeing that their sales force is going upwards of 80 to 85% broker rather than their own internal sales force.
And why do lenders like working with this organization?
I think it's the diligence we put in up front. We're very specific about how packages are submitted to lenders. One of the biggest complaints we hear from lenders is that a package is being spammed. It's being sent to all of us at once. It doesn't have the required documents. Our software platform stops all of that. You're not able to submit a deal package with missing documents. You're not able to send the same deal package to multiple lenders. Our brokers would love that, but we made that commitment to our lenders that, hey, if you submit a deal package, it's only coming to you with your required docs. And it's cumbersome sometimes for the brokers, but that is intentionally built into our software for that reason. So our lenders really like how we bring a broker along, especially with the various experiences that they might come into it with. Some of our folks are even very high caliber, 30 years in banking, but we need to make sure they know how to work as a broker with a lender in this space.
So Alex, I learned just before the show that we're both men of faith. Tell us why your faith is so important in how you approach your business.
Sure. So, that's a unique question. I don't get that question asked hardly ever, if I ever have. My faith is tremendously important to me. It's the reason we make every single decision within our business. Many of our staff are people of faith. And I think it bodes well for a lot of the stuff that's going on in the industry right now. There's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of bad actors out there. And so I think how we approach our business has a lot to do with my internal faith. We're not willing to say things that we can't deliver on. You know, companies might say, we guarantee you'll make 6 figures. We know you can get there, but we're just not willing to do that. We're not willing to be sales oriented where we're asking people, pushy questions or being very forward. We want folks that want to work with us, that understand the value we can add and understand that we value integrity internally. So it's really important to us for how we do business.
That's fantastic, Alex. Well, thank you for sharing your expertise with me today.
Sure,
My pleasure.
I really appreciate the time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk to me today. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Wow, we're almost
Great
out of
question.
time. So, Alex, final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with?
I guess some of the topics we talked about today are more of the intangibles, right? It's the integrity and the empathy that we like to do business under. That's really important that gets across in any of our messaging or any of our marketing. We will treat you like a human. We'll tell you if we don't think we would be a good fit for you. We'll refer you to other programs that might even be a competitor of ours because we want to do what's best for you. We don't want anyone going through our program where they might have cold feet, where they might be second guessing it. It's a challenging program. There is some complexity to it. So we really take that serious. So hopefully amongst all of our other marketing collateral that we're going to have out there, you hear that we're real people and we also understand that you're a real person.
Outstanding. Great way to end this segment. Alex Varian, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for sharing that information. How can we find you?
Sure. So the easiest way is just find us online, advisorycapitalbrokertraining.com. It's a mouthful, but you'll get there. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me or our staff. I'm the primary trainer for the program. We don't use a sales team. We won't call you a million times, ask you to sign up. We're really looking for folks that we can have a relationship with after the course.
Wonderful. All right, so advisorycapitalbrokertraining.com. Check it out.